Hi there and welcome back to the Headbangers Ball, where for the next part of tonight's show we're going to be out on the road in New York City to bring you an exclusive preview of Morbid Angel's upcoming European tour. Yes, we've hooked up with the band here at the Academy in New York City to talk about the new album Covenant and also to check out the band live in action, which goes something like this. The Headbangers Ball is out on the road at the Academy in New York City to bring you an exclusive preview of Morbid Angel's upcoming European tour. Of course, the guys are playing America first, and I'm joined by Morbid Angel main man, David Vincent. So, hi David, how are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well, and you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Glad to be here. Now, there's been some changes for Morbid Angel since Blessed Are the Sick, and the first thing I guess we have to broach is what's happened to your guitarist, Richard Brunel.
Richard left the band. We had some creative differences, as it were. That really didn't have a lot to do with the songwriting, though, because Trey and I write all the material anyway. So we have a new record. We feel really good about it. We have a new record deal, actually, in America. And we're decided to kick off the tour in America first. We usually go to Europe first, and we're going to warm up here, and we're going to bring the show over to Europe come September.
Okay. So did Richard leaving the band affect the writing and the recording of the new album Covenant?
Not really, because like I said, Trey and I write all the material anyway, so...
But it didn't create a bad atmosphere or anything?
No, it didn't. Well, it certainly gave, and we are a two-guitar band, so that we still have enough guitars on the record for all those you know the record anyway. There's enough guitars on the record for two guitars, so we have actually hired Eric Rutan from Ripping Corpse to do the tours both in the United States and abroad. Flying through these dungeons, heighten the sense of horror. Need only a step rupture. Endurance makes it divide.
As we said, the new album is called Covenant, and that is kind of a secret pact or something. Now, is that something that's just within the band, or does it encompass a lot more than just the band?
Well, it can encompass anything that you want it to encompass. It's up to you, and it's up to the listener to decide what it means for them. It does mean very many things, but the first of which certainly is no compromise on our creativity or our message. I don't footnote myself much anymore because I think that it destroys what people's perception of things can be. I think we get out a pretty fair package, which is a good representation of Morbid Angel. They have the lyrics, they have the music, and it's up to the listener to figure out what it means to them.
I just wondered if it had any significance between you and Trey, because I know you have a very long-term, very intense kind of working relationship.
Well, we do, and there's something that has been tried to be compromised by a lot of different people. A lot of roadblocks have come up. Certainly, you know, the extremity of our music is not something that is tolerable to everyone, but their intolerance is intolerable to us. So we're going to continue doing what we do, which is playing the most brutal music that's known to man. And we're going to do it with the style that only Morbid Angel can.
That's what about. I'm coming to you to always fill this world with blasphemy.
I was wondering for this record if you tried to set yourself apart in any way from the rest of what's happening in death metal at the moment.
Well, actually, what's happening in death metal at the moment is a lot of people are hybridizing their sound, trying to cross over and do different kinds of things. And I feel like Morbid Angel has helped at least, at the very minimum, to define this whole genre of music. So there's no reason for us to walk away from it. We do it very well. We have a drummer who can play speeds unknown to anything other than a machine. And we're going to continue to blaze our path and take death metal to new heights, which I don't think we know what those heights are yet, but certainly we're going to push them. We're going to push them as far as we can.
Just carrying on from that subject a little bit, what do you find the most challenging to do? In terms of being extreme, do you find the music or the lyrics to be the most challenging if you want to be ultra extreme and brutal?
Well, the music it's not a set thing to try to be as extreme as we can, and we have elements within our band that are beyond our control. So the music comes out in such a way where everything about our band is very honest and it's very feeling, is what we feel at the time. So any lyric that I write is not something that's not very, very personal to me. And the music, Trey's a very sick individual, and he comes up with very sick guitar riffs, and it's just very, very plain and simple, very cut and dry. And when we set about writing a song, it's very much how do we feel at the time, what do we want to express. We had a lot of frustrations pent up, thus the whole approach for Covenant.
I mean, do you think that the album expresses your current views on life, or do you think your own personal views are like even more extreme than that, but you can't air them?
Well, I will say that what I care to share with my listeners is what is on the record.
Right, that answers that. We were talking a little bit earlier about Morbid Angel sort of being apart from what's going on in death metal, and I was interested as to why you chose to record at Morris Sound. I know you didn't use Scott Burns or Tom Morris, and that you used Rasmussen, but why go to Morris Sound? You could have gone anywhere in the world, I guess.
Well, we actually used Tom to engineer the record. The convenient thing with Morris Sound is it's about 15 minutes drive from our homes.
That's handy.
When it's always a lot easier to be home listening to your own stereo and knowing what it sounds like, what the tapes sound like. So being able to be in a comfortable environment for us to work. Now, when it came to the mixing, certainly Fleming has a tremendous studio over in Copenhagen, and he's a pleasure to work with, by the way. At any rate, certainly for his part of the thing, which is the mixing, it needed to be in an environment where he felt most comfortable, and he felt like that he understood the sound coming out of his studio, because each studio sounds different. So that was the best thing. It's certainly a change of pace for us, too, because we've never left, actually, our little incubus of Florida to go anywhere else. So that was new for us.
Confront me, unholy ones, bastard sing, God of the earth. I summon thee, now poison me, death in the will. Burn my soul. Twins on me, enemies of the land. In truth, we are one. Under will, rebel defense, with your bells. I die again.
can only comment and just say that we're very happy with the video. It's certainly a Morbid Angel video. It's nothing but a Morbid Angel video. And I'm very happy with it. I think Tony Kuhnwalder did an extremely good job directing it. And hopefully it will open up some more doors for us.
But why be in rapture with the devil? I mean, are there any? Why don't you see that?
Rapture is a transformation. It means into bliss.
Does it?
It means into bliss. That's all it means. It means transformation, transcending one boundary into another.
But that isn't really suggested in the video. It's a different sort of rapture, as far as I can make out.
Well, that's why there's so much different imagery in there, so that it allows the viewer to make up his or her own mind about the video.
I witness in rapture, born again from a lion. My bear's gone, in rapture, I'm reborn.
So if we could talk a little bit about the lyrics on Covenant, because please correct me if I'm wrong, but for this album they seem a lot more in black and white, straight ahead, not so obtuse as on previous records. Am I right?
Well, they're a lot less colorful, I think, because I was a lot angrier. There's a lot of things. See, we're living in very, very aggressive times now. And this is one thing that makes Morbid Angel a band for the 90s. It's aggressive times and there's very aggressive music. Someone has to write the soundtrack for it. And we're doing our best to be that band who can take and make sense out of it all.
But being devil's advocate, excuse the pun there, some people might say that you don't deal with real subjects because you use a lot of satanic references and dark and very, very kind of evil things that a lot of people, I don't know if I'm right, may not relate to on an everyday kind of basis.
Well, there's certainly a horrible thing that most people have lost spirituality, but being in touch with your inner self, imagination goes hand in hand with creativity. And I can tell you that there's nothing fake or surreal about anything that I've ever talked about. It is a little bit more in black and white now, but it's stuff that's very real. My religion and my worldview is very real to me, and I would never deny that. And I would never say something that I didn't feel very, very close to. And this record, I think more than any, I feel very, very close to.
So do you feel that you're often very misunderstood with what you're trying to say?
Well, I think I've been castigated. A lot of people try to take what I say and twist it around because they don't particularly like one or more points of it, and they turn me into some kind of monster and say, this guy, But it doesn't matter because I'm going to be honest constantly, and I'm going to say what I feel, and if someone doesn't like it, they just shouldn't listen to the record.
So where do you think that you fit in the death metal genre in 1993?
Well, I think we're leading it through this new decade. I think, like I said, times are getting much more aggressive. We're very aggressive, and we're right there leading it into the future. I think it's a very strong form of music, and I don't think that you're going to see it going anywhere anytime soon, other than continuing to get more brutal and continuing momentum. Just kind of like a tidal wave. You know, you can't ever stop a tidal wave. It just keeps coming and coming and coming.
Break from the bones, see what it all. Not back and down to the rise. To fuck to the shit, I shall persevere. As I make my way, go to the promised land.